In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that Kamad, Dveshad, Bhayat, Snehad, Yatha Bhakteshware Manaha Aveshya Tad Agam Hitva Bahavas Tad Gatim Gataha. This uniqueness of devotees of Lord Vishnu or Krishna is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. What does the Bhagavatam say? That Kamad, Dveshad, Bhayat, Snehad, Yatha Bhaktya Ishvare. Anybody who approaches Krishna or Vishnu and becomes his devotee, Bhaktya, renders devotional service to him, or he approaches Krishna, he develops a certain kind of attraction for Krishna because of sneha, because of affection, or because of kama, because of lusty desires, or dvesha, because of enmity, or bhayad, out of fear. A person may approach Krishna or Vishnu out of lust, out of enmity or hatred, out of fear, or out of affection, or by the process of rendering devotional service. In any way, a person may approach Krishna or Vishnu, Ishvare. Manaha Aveshya, one whose mind becomes absorbed in Krishna or Vishnu due to any of these reasons. Manaha Aveshya, what happens is, Tad Agam Hitva, all his sinful activities and propensities are Hitva, it becomes destroyed. And such sinful propensities and actions being destroyed, what happens? Bahavas tad gatim gataha. Many people in the past, tad gatim gataha, they have attained tat. In the Shastras, this material world is referred to as iha or idam, this world. And the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, the spiritual kingdom is referred to as tat. Om tat sat, like it is said in the Upanishads. This simply means Tat is referring to the spiritual kingdom, and Idam or Iha refers to this material world. When the Bhagavatam is saying Bahavas Tat Gatim Gataha, many people in the past, by approaching Krishna and absorbing their mind in Krishna or Vishnu, out of love or out of affection or out of fear or out of hatred or out of bhakti, out of devotional service, all of them, their sinful activities and propensities have been destroyed. They attain the spiritual kingdom. This is the advantage of, this is the unique nature of approaching Krishna in whatever way. Can we say the same thing of Devata, that anybody who approaches Devata inimically with hatred or with fear, he will get liberated? No. The Devatas respond positively and give benediction only to some person who approaches the Devata in a favorable way and serving him out of devotion, out of some whatever vrata he is supposed to perform. He is performing that and trying to satisfy the Devata. Only then the Devata becomes pleased. If somebody approaches the Devata saying, I want to kill you, do you think any Devata will say, come, I'll liberate you? They will only see how to kill that person in return. This is how the worship of the Devatas is concerned. And even somebody who comes and approaches the Devatas out of affection or out of devotion or out of faith or out of surrender, even to such people, what does the Devata do? Devata only says, what do you want? You want this? Okay, take this. That's all. The Devata does not see that, oh, this person has come to me. He has become my devotee, he has surrendered to me. Let me see how to liberate him from the cycle of birth and death. No Devata will think. Whereas Krishna or Vishnu, anybody approaches Krishna on any account. What does Krishna see? Krishna sees, oh, this person, he has been constantly thinking of me. So he purifies him and then liberates him from this material world. This is the nature of Krishna or Vishnu, and this is the distinction between Krishna and Vishnu. A very stark difference in the way the Devatas respond to their devotees and the way Krishna or Vishnu responds to his devotees.